Good afternoon. This is Matt Nelson from First Tracks Marketing Group. Just doing a quick video for my latest blog post on fireworks versus Photoshop. I gave a talk about this about a week ago, and there was a lot of people who came back and asked me for some more detailed information to share. So I thought a quick 2 or 3 minute video to walk you through my top 3 or 4 on my top 10 list would be a useful thing to do. So what you're looking at is the fireworks program. The thing that I love the most about this program is the export area tool. If you use Photoshop, you're very aware that when you're building your layout and it's all split into layers, and then I just want to take like this logo out and export that from my design. I have to crop it and then export for web, which is kind of a pain because if I forget that I had cropped it and I click save by accident, then I lose all of the work that I had put together. So Fireworks has what's called the export area tool, which basically works the same way, only you get to make your box around only what you want to export. You just hit return, and then it gives you the ability to preview just that piece when you're exporting for web, and you can make it any of the different sizes, and you can try different compression techniques or whatever. But when you're all done, you're not cutting the actual layout down to nothing. You're just using the pieces that you need, which I think is a fantastic time saver. The second thing that I like the most about Fireworks is the guide positioning tool. I can't tell you how annoying it is to me when I'm in Photoshop and I need to drop a guide in a certain place and I gotta like zoom in really close just so I can make sure when I drag this in that it's in the right place, and I'm looking at my info palette and it's just ridiculous as far as I'm concerned. So what I love about Fireworks is that I can just take a guide and drop it wherever and then double click on it, and then I can say, yep, I want you to be at 700, and it just moves, and that just saves me so much time in finagling around with my document. So the third thing I like the most about Fireworks is the color control tools. So like what you're looking at right now is a mock-up that I'm building for a client, and we do the wireframing stage, and after they approve kind of the general look of everything, then we start to put in texture and depth and shadow, and really start to put the coat of paint on it, if you will. But in Photoshop, you'd have to create a new layer and then change the mode to grayscale, and then to get it back, you couldn't unless you Control Z out of it. So what's nice about Fireworks is that you can just put filters on it, and you can see down here in my properties inspector that I can just turn off the fact that I made these grayscale. So when I come in to do my color layout, all I'm not having to replace all my images. I'm just turning them back on basically to their color versions, and that saves me a ton of time in the design process. And looks like the last thing I'd just like to show real quick is the quick access number 4, quick access to gradient and texture tools, which really boils down to the properties inspector for Fireworks. One of the things that I love about Fireworks compared to Photoshop is that when I interact with anything, this whole panel changes. So it's not like I'm constantly having to hunt for all these different palettes and panels and things to let me do different things with the stuff that I'm working on. It just adjusts depending on whatever it is that I'm interacting with. So, if I wanted to make this box have a gradient, well, now my properties inspector has changed, and now I can go from solid to a gradient, and I have all the different gradient stuff available right at my fingertips, rather than having to put in an adjustment layer and then create the gradient and then apply those different adjustment layers just to that one thing. If I want to reuse it for something else, and I got to do it all over again. So there's just a snippet and a handful of some of the cool tools that I use when I'm building my layouts, and hopefully you found this interesting. And if you were watching this because you were just curious about how we do what we do over at First Tracks Marketing Group, I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully we'll get to work with you on your next website design soon. It's Matt Nelson signing off. Have a good one. Bye.